Good morning and welcome. Welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary and to those of you who are viewing virtually. We are so glad that you have chosen to be with us this fine morning of the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And know that each of you will be richly blessed for choosing to be here. My name is Rachael Robinson, and I am able to guide us through the sacred service this morning with the generous support of so many. Today, our musician is Kathy DeWitt. Our prayer chaplain is Steve Mitchell. Our board member on duty and also Dublin on AV is Philip Shepard today with Gabe Coleman and Shin. The guest speaker is Reverend Betty Martin Lewis. Her lesson today is entitled, Consider Letting Go of This.
Now I invite you to just take a moment, close your eyes if you like, we'll pray in. As we relax our bodies, we move our attention out to our heart space, that place where spirit dwells in us. Filled with gratitude for friends, family, and for the human family all around the globe. We feel our love circulate around the globe. And we had a special prayer this morning for Pat. Was in hospital, going through the long haul of COVID. For our beloved member Jackie, who's at home today, we send her love and blessings, healing, life. And so we are thankful for all our many blessings, and we come here together to support each other in our spiritual journey. And we give thanks now for being here, one in God. God is in us. All is well in spirit. Amen and amen. Okay.
Are there any newcomers here today?
Hey.
Yay! Our prayer chaplain will bring you a packet, and then after that, she'll be bringing you the prayer box, which we have outside that we'll be putting up front here. For those of us that are new to community in any way, prayer is indeed an essential practice. So we're welcome. Welcome back. I want to thank all of those who have worked on making this church home ready for Advent season. First, I'd like to, if she's in the hall, acknowledge Sharadna, who is the chairperson of that. And Alejandro Casal, the son of our new church admin, Gio, and also Barbara Gordon, and Steve says background. Don't mention him, but please, let's honor all of them. This beautiful, lovely work. Our prayer chaplain on duty D is available after our service for half an hour. And you are invited to stay after the service if you would like prayer support. Please also check on our unitygainesville.org website. Those are all, or you'll end up in Georgia if we get any church there. So please also know that you can subscribe by email to our weekly e-blast all of those sites, and sometimes we'll be getting also more to our bulletin boards. We want to definitely let you know that there are class events happening, and this is where you find that information. We thank everyone for the cooperation of wearing your masks, indoors, social distancing, and we do provide hand sanitizer if you would like. And now, let's give thanks to this cat. All right. Our opening song. There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, just trying to make it through another day, gotta let it go, let it all go, and this is what you have to say. And let it go, let it here in my life. Love that. And so we all begin now together with the affirmation. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, good, omnipotent. Today's daily word is coming from Psalms 62:5. But God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from him. And so the word is hope and faith. This Advent, my hope leads me to unwavering faith in God. My belief in goodness of the world, others, and myself and God begins with hope. Maybe hope is all I can muster after a period of doubt or disappointment. As I feel hopeful, I began to believe that new possibilities and better outcomes are available. My hopeful feelings lead to faith, a certainty that the goodness I could only sense before is the actual nature of life. With faith, I now direct my thoughts towards goodness, wholeness, and my heart's desire. With gratitude for my awakening, I use faith to dismantle any doubt or limitation. I hold only the best thoughts for myself and others. I know and feel in the depths of my soul that the good I desire is already mine. clean it now. And the affirmation, this Sabbath, my hope leads me to unwavering faith in God.
This song by Dana Lehman. May not be as well known as some of his songs, but I really love this one. It's about visualizing ways that you can let go. I've seen my share of struggles, and I thought that I knew best. When I sailed through a storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest. I made up my stubborn mind. Well, I'm changing my ways this time. Wanna be like water coming down the mountain, shattering canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, and feel no more. I am bound for the sea. Have you ever seen an eagle head straight into the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end, he always makes it home just fine. Guess he knows that every storm subsides. Wanna be like water coming down the mountain in shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, and I feel no more. I am bound for the sea. I'll let nature take its course. No more things. That I've been dealt, for the lottery I've never won, the heartache that I've felt. But it always seems when I let go of expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises for me. And I wanna be like water coming down the mountain in the shadowy canyons. Wanna be like water, and I will no more. I am bound for wanna be like water, coming down the mountain in the shadows, and I'm going free. Wanna be like water, and I will no more. I am bound for the sea. I am bound for the
So good morning, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here again, Reverend Betty. And I come twice a month, and I just feel more and more high consciousness every time I walk into this building. It's coming from you all as we keep expanding our consciousness and our awareness of who we are as spiritual beings. It's such a blessing. And again, when I walked in this morning, I want to thank, like Polly did, the beautiful decorating team. Yes. come here to learn, to support each other on our spiritual journey. And as Rachael said, this is the first day of Advent. So we hold in our heart for Advent, the first Sunday, the divine idea of hope and faith. And thanks to Steve, who set up our Advent wreath here. He said that first candle of the purple candle stands for hope and faith. And Advent, in its traditional meaning and actually the literal meaning of the word Advent is a coming and arrival of something or someone significant or noteworthy. And so it's been traditionally a preparation time to be ready for the beautiful celebration of the Christmas blessings and the celebration of the birth of Jesus, which is the great story for us to understand metaphysically. And so we'll be celebrating in December all the beautiful metaphysical symbols of Christmas and what they mean to us as spiritual beings. Advent, hope and faith. And, to expand our consciousness of hope and faith, we do have to do a continuous cleaning of our consciousness. So we're ending up our end of the last Sunday in November, ending up our month-long study of our divine power of release, letting go, our ability to say no when it's appropriate, renunciation, elimination, those are the words that Charles Fillmore used. That idea of continuously letting go of old ideas, old beliefs, and behaviors that just don't serve us any longer. So that's been our focus this whole month, and we're going to continue a little bit of that. As I say, as Rachael mentioned, my talk today is consider letting go of this. So I've got some ideas for us to consider letting go. Jesus taught us that we should embrace life and live it abundantly. But sometimes we stifle our very life impulse by the ideas we are dragging around from our past, the wounds, the hurts from childhood. And so it is a continuous process, isn't it? No matter how old we are, it's never too late. It's never too late to continue to bring up and reconcile and heal anything within us that we want to let go of. And because of Advent, of course, this is our preparation time to cleanse our consciousness. We want to be aware of what is coming up for us to release. Only by being aware of it can we then make the decision, the conscious choice, to let it go. Because a lot of hidden beliefs are below our everyday consciousness. But if we set the intention, if we're ready, we can let those memories come up and recognize that that was then, this is now, the past can no longer hurt us. We let go of what no longer serves us. And so, as Jesus said, live life abundantly. It was about releasing our worries, suffering. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have difficult situations, even sometimes traumatic situations and circumstances in our life. But we can walk through those with faith and hope if we make space in our consciousness for the divine ideas to come through us, to really rest on that faith and experience that something bigger than us is enveloping us, surrounding us, comforting us, bringing just the right answer, the guidance we need in a given situation. We're never alone. So many times as humans, our human ego feels like we're the only one experiencing such. We're never alone. We judge ourselves by looking at others that look of our society, which are not the most important things, right? The most important things are always within. So let's consider some things that we might want to release. And I'm going to give you 5 ideas that really are very universal human dilemmas and struggles. So it will show us that we're not alone, because at one time or another, every one of us struggle with these issues, right? So let's consider this. Letting go of any labels that have been attached to us from childhood. Sometimes others give us labels, and sometimes we label ourselves, right? In your family, were you a little sister, little brother? That comes with some burdens, right? Just being the little sister, little brother. And I can speak because, well, I'm 7, let's see, I'm 6 in a family of 8. And so I see my little sister still dragging around some insecurities, and she was just sharing with me, that our middle sister beat her up all the time. And I played big sister to her because there were 2 generations in our family with 8 children. So there were the older 4 and the younger 4. And I was the oldest daughter of the younger group, you know. So I was the intermediary. I was always the peacemaker, and I forgot how much they get me up by the other sister all the time. So, you know, sometimes we misinterpret those signals that, oh, I'm weak, or, you know, nobody loves me because I got beat up by my brother or sister. I mean, isn't that silly today as adults to think that? But sometimes in our subconscious, we're carrying around that message that I'm weak, or I don't count, or nobody listens to me, or whatever. And being the big sister, big brother, that's a label too. Maybe you're overachiever, over responsible. You take responsibility for everybody and you carry that on your shoulders. If you were labeled with certain attributes in your, you know, in your childhood, how about the lone child or the abandoned child? Or anybody here ever been labeled a drama queen? The uptight one, the angry one, the weird one, the funny one in the family. I had a good friend in high school. I remember he was the brother of my best friend, and he was a little older than we were, and he was the class clown. And every time, you know, in every class in high school, he'd come in and he'd, like, you know, slip on the banana peel or something. He was great at those silly jokes, you know, but it was always covering up his feeling of inadequacy. And he was brilliant. And I think actually he was trying to hide his intellect for some reason, felt insecure about that. And so I loved it that he went into the military, got some good training, and ended up being an IT executive. And I thought, yeah, you know, he can overcome that being the silly one just to get attention and get what he needed as a teenager. So, you know, let's release any labels that were to us Even the pretty one or the strong one or the tough one, the jock or whatever, all those have attributes that collect into our unconscious. And if we think that's who we are, then our life is limited, right? Because we're much more than any label anyone gives us. And the worst part is if we take on the label ourselves. I'm talking about my nephew because I'm really learning to live with a different generation, and a nephew who's gone through hard times, probably half his life he's been homeless. And the other day he was fixing his car and he came in and he said, "I'm so stupid, I couldn't figure out where the bolt went here or the no, you're not stupid. You may just not understand or know something. You're not stupid. You're very intelligent." That guy recognized how intelligent he is. He didn't finish high school, but he did get a GED. And one of his gifts is writing. He writes in a diary, and he's read me some of his things for writing, and they're just amazing, beautiful things from his heart. But he's had to cover up his heart to survive. He's had to be tough and strong. He spent some time in jail, so he learned how to survive by being tough. So he only shows that tender heart to certain people. All right, so we want to think about letting go of any label. Now, consider this. Let's let go of expecting ourselves or our families to be perfect. Did anybody have a perfect Thanksgiving or a perfect anything with the family? And so in this society that we create, our civilization, we have certain norms because what we see on TV. This is what a family should look like, right? We see them on the sitcoms, and we see, fortunately, some of the sitcoms are showing a lot more diversity, a lot more, types of families. So there is no one type of family. There is no one way to behave as a family. The idea is to become a family by connecting through the heart space, not the ego. And so letting go of this idea that nobody can live up to the perfect family. There's always going to be, craziness happening when families get together in a large group or whatever. So we just bless each person in our family, and we forgive ourselves for any mistakes we make with our family, because we are human. We make mistakes. We're perfect in spirit, but we got some things to learn all through life. There is a learning process open to us to continue to learn how to bring this beautiful force of love and peace and joy through us and through our personality and express it uniquely as us. This is God expressing through each one of us. And so that's our practice. That's our spiritual practice. Continuing to clean the way, to cleanse the way, so spirit can express fully through us, and that we accept all our beautiful gifts, and we can say, I am spirit expressing into the world. I am the beloved of God. I am one in God. God is in me. God is in you. God is expressing through each of you. We are God together. That force of life. We're in God. God is in us. And empathy is the kind of spirituality that we practice in unity. God is in us. That's sometimes easy to feel, isn't it, in our heart? But the big idea is we're in God. There is no separation. We're spirit, having this temporary earthly experience in form, in a perfect. Drop the ornament, your Auntie May's perfect fresh, smash something. So what? Important part. And connecting spiritually. All right, so consider this, let go of trying to change us. See how universal that is here, the laughter. I remember the first 10 years of my marriage, I had finally acknowledged it, and it was such a joy to get it, that I was doing that, so that I could release it. I wanted to blame him for all our little squabbles. But what was great is that we began to grow together, learn together, and I was so grateful to have a long marriage because it wasn't the same marriage. We kept reinventing it together. And that's the secret of a long marriage. Be open to share, to grow together, to learn together, and not have some fixed idea of what marriage is or a family. Those pictures that get rigid don't last forever. The true heart connection is universal. It is the crux of our being. So let's consider this. Let's let go of the fears we have about money. That's sort of a built-in thing for our society as well. There are expectations about money in our society and status attached to the amount of money someone has. So let's get at any kind of fear we have and recognize that we live in an abundant universe, and our amazing divine source is where everything flows from. It's not a bank, it's not your checkbook. It's this amazing, all that is force of God, the true source of all abundance, that when we connect with that power and that energy, always have enough and more. That's about faith. Hope. We have to let go of old ideas. I mean, just a quick example of my family. I grew up in a family where there were 8 children. My dad was a plumber. He wasn't a good businessman. He was a great plumber. And my mother was always on his back to, you mean you didn't charge Miss Brown for doing her toilet, replacing her toilet? And she was always after because he hated to charge people for what he did. And so I grew up hearing, life is hard. Life is hard. So I had to bring that up in my consciousness and release it and let it go, knowing life doesn't have to be hard. Yay! Yay! Embracing abundance is always flowing, and life is as beautiful as we desire if we change our mind to see around us all the blessings we have every moment. So let's get rid of our fear of money and fear of lack, fear of dealing with money. And let's just get rid of worry. Let's get rid of worry. That's a habit. See, but it's a habit, it's a behavior that relates back to ideas that you're going to have to keep asking, why am I worried? What is the thought I'm carrying around in my consciousness that makes me worry? And usually it relates maybe to safety. Do you see the world as safe or dangerous? Are you carrying around an idea in your consciousness that the world is dangerous all the time? That's very possible. from something that happened in childhood. So then you have to say, is that true today? Is that true in the way I know that we have a loving source of all that is necessary to bring us Savior? Then we truly can understand, I will be done. We have a good God. We trust that. Then we remember that our will is God's will is our will, and there's no separation. We relax into that, just like it says in Psalm 46. Now, this is it's called a Passion translation of the Bible, Psalm 46. Surrender your anxiety. Be still and realize that I am God. Surrender your anxiety. Be still and realize. All right, so are you willing to consider letting go of stuff you no longer need, ideas and rigid beliefs that are below your everyday waking thought? I'm going to ask our ushers now to pass out some paper, and I'm going to ask you to let one thought come up for you that you might be willing to release during this holiday season. So you're going to get a piece of paper, a big full page paper, and I'd like you to write on that just whatever the word is that you're willing to release, that you're ready to surrender, and let God walk with you to release that from your consciousness. And so take a piece of paper, and if you need a pen, raise your hand. If you need something to write with, raise your hand. There are also pencils in the front of near the book, the song book, and you may write on that. And again, we're not going to take a whole long time. Think about the word you're going to write so that we get the papers passed out pretty quickly. Probably you want to try some papers on this side and then get those. Just a little fun right now. Relax into this as an exercise. Don't overthink it. Say again? Yeah. It's consider releasing this. And so you can say, I am willing to release, and then write whatever. I'm willing to release something. It could be a thought, a belief, a behavior. I'm willing to release overeating when I'm worried, or I'm willing to release worry, or I'm willing to release my concern about money. Whatever it is, just the first thing that comes to your mind, write it down. Just let it flow. I'm willing to release the label of little sister, little brother. I'm willing to release my insecurity. I'm willing, whatever comes up, just write it down as quickly as you can. And now, don't fold your paper, because here's what you're going to do with it. Could I have a white paper? I'm going to show you what to do with it. And is there anybody else that needs more time writing it down? We'll wait for just a minute here, so everybody's got theirs written down. Did you get paper? Yeah, you got paper. Good. Yeah. Okay, everybody got paper? Everybody ready to go? Just be careful. Yeah, okay. All right, here's what we're going to do with the paper. Crumble it up lightly, and make it about the size of a baseball or kind of gently you need it in the ball. And then you're in. Oh, that impulse there, right? Okay, now, first we're gonna do a test. I want the ball to be light so that when you throw it, it'll go up a little bit. Okay? All right, everybody just try it so you see how high it goes. Now, this side of the room, look over to this side. This side of the room, look over to that side of the room. And just sort of randomly throw balls, so everybody should catch a different ball from a different side of the room. And make sure everybody's got a ball in their hands now. Okay, all you gotta do. All right, raise your hands. I need a ball. Raise your hand. You need one. Yeah. Okay, go back to your chair. All right, so everybody back to their chairs, and does everybody have a different one? You can open it up now, see what it says. And it may be a message directly from you. Oh, okay. And if it doesn't relate to you, that's fine, but just open it and consider it, right? You're gonna consider this. And now again, because we know that we are one, we all kind of share these ideas. So these are human ideas to release. So I come up with your sample of it. So who's ready to share maybe one? Okay, here's mine.
I am willing to release my need to be in charge.
Okay, anybody relate to that one? Who else?
I am really release maybe.
Okay, all right.
I'm willing to release feelings of poverty.
Okay. You here? Say yours. Yeah. Okay, say it again.
Unhappy.
Release unhappiness. Yeah. You got one that. Yeah.
Willing to release my.
Hey, see, these are classical, right?
This is three different ones: fear of people and economic insecurity, critical spirit, hypersensitive to hurt, spirit of offense.
See, we don't really have to do all this anymore. You know, it's human. It's just human stuff. And we're in charge, right? Our spirit's in charge. If we let it be in charge, it can heal all of those things. Nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to blame others for. Just bring it up and say, yeah, that was true then. A different person in spirit. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. We can change our mind. We can be a new being in God. So blessings, everyone, and let's take these rings into our beautiful holiday so that we experience Christmas in a whole different way this year. Open, free, and laughing at ourselves, right? Okay. So now we're going to go into meditation. We'll do a quick one. So quick. And Kathy's going to just play some background music as we relax into that sacred space with us. So just breathing for a moment now and being aware of your breath, the in and the out. As you breathe, feel your body relaxing. And going into that. The trusting in things unseen, the amazing power of the Spirit within, the beautiful life force that is our gift. And now in our mind, we form an intention to release and let go of anything that makes us feel separate from God, the oneness, source of all that is. And imagine now in your mind's eye how you feel freer when you let this go, when you let the negative go. How you stand and walk, how you express yourself. See yourself free and open and enjoying the company of others, knowing that in every face around you is the face of God. And what we are doing now is remembering who we really are. The deepest truth of our essence. And as we breathe now, we are grateful for knowing this truth, that we are beautiful, valuable, worthy, whole, spiritual beings in human form, with a human mind that sometimes makes mistakes. And so we forgive ourselves, and we look forward to a beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful holiday season. Amen. And amen. So
It's a little song I wrote. It's called Thanksgiving. 2 words. Lord, today I want to thank you for all the good you brought my way. When I think of all my blessings, every day's Thanksgiving Day. Thank you for my friends and family, always there to see me through, for their smiles and loving kindness. By the way, Lord, thanks for you. Thank you for the trees so green and the sky so bright and blue, for this world access far and wide to your peace and to your healing and our higher power inside. Thank you for the trees so green and the sky so bright and blue, for this world with all of its wonder. By the way, thanks for you. Most of all, Lord, thanks for you.
Thanks to you, Ms. Cam. And thanks to our beloved Reverend Betty. This is the time of our offertory where we offer our monetary gifts and remembrance that as we give, so shall we receive, and we receive more abundantly. So you are invited to put your offering or place it on your heart, or simply imagine it if you've already given electronic. Together we say our blessing, divine love, expressed through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Please place your offerings in that. There are two small baskets over there by the doors. If um, haven't already done so, we're not using our ushers at this particular time. So let us now continue to give thanks for the growth and prosperity of this beautiful ministry. Holding these words in our community of Gainesville, Florida is richly blessed and in the flow of universal abundance. We give thanks that just the right people with loving hearts and skills come to help us grow and are attracted to join us. We accept the group that enriches us and all with whom we have contact. We are prosperous, loving, and healthy, joyfully co-creating an abundant life. This prayer is on our website and in the e-blast, so if you wish, you can hold this intention in your consciousness during the week. Today. And this is the time that we envision our children, if there are no visitors today. Okay. Having too much fun. We'll be here.
even thought he was cool. Out of class. He loves a snack. Yeah, he loves a snack. So Victoria and Ellie and Nathan, they talked about what we were grateful for, what we were thankful for, and we did a picture that says, "Don't be a turkey." Tell what you're grateful for. So they put pumpkins on the picture, wrote on what they were grateful for, and they made.
And so we simply raise our hands. You might want to stand, because our next segue is to actually do the prayer of protection and peace song, where we spread around the sanctuary and do this. So in this moment, let us say together, children, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see you in your wonders. We love you, we love you, we really, really love you.
Peace song, right there, peace song, right.
Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, and we are each. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.